Hi, I'm Linda, and this is No Frills ASMR. I'm back with this very fun book. I like the feel of the cover on this book. It's almost like, what do you call that? It's like a rose petal, and then this is shiny, shiny right here. It's like soft almost. I'm always drawn to books with covers like this. Anyway, we have looked through this, I don't know, 3 or 4 times now, probably. And it is trivia. Well, facts, I guess. John Lloyd CBE is the creator of QI and the man who devised the news quiz and To the Manor Born for radio, and not the 9 o'clock news, Spinning Image, and Blackadder for television. Blackadder? I think my mom loves that show. I can't remember. All right. His favorite page is 213. What? We haven't gotten there yet. Should I look at it? You have to remind me. Somebody remind me when we get there. John Mitchinson, James Harkin. So these are the researchers for it. So I have gone on YouTube and watched bits of this show. It's funny. All right. Who knows? Who knows what we were trying here? All right. Sporins are traditionally made from otters. What? What's a sporin? No idea. Sea otters have as many hairs on each square centimeter of their bodies as human beings have on their entire head. Well, that's an interesting fact. Fake soy sauce can be made from human hair. Gross. Ew. Queen bumblebees go bald in old age. Oh, that's interesting. You know I'm a beekeeper. A beak. That's what you call beekeepers if you're cool. A beak. I didn't know that. Only one woman's age is given in the Bible. Abraham's wife, Sarah, who was 127. And she had a baby, I think, like that age. Old people who completed secondary education as children are, on average, a centimeter taller than those who don't. Wow. I wonder if that has more to do with people who have more wealth are more likely to have the opportunity to finish secondary education, not have to go to work or something, and therefore are fed better and are taller. How about that? I don't know. Half the brain of an 8-year-old child can be removed with no ill effects. That's funny, because sometimes you feel like that with an 8-year-old. Like, do you only have half a brain? Since the first stone tools were made, the human brain has tripled in size. Okay. Your brain makes 1 million new connections every second. Wow. My brain? I don't know. I don't know about that. Your brain uses less power than the light in your fridge. I don't know how they measure that, but okay. Eigengrau, or brain gray, is the color your eyes see in total darkness. Have you ever been in total darkness? The only time I can think of, and I know there's been more than one, but the time that specifically sticks out in my mind was when I was a kid and we went to Mammoth Cave in Kentucky. And you go into this, they used to, I don't know if the tours are the same as used to be, but they'd take you into, I think it was the Great Hall or something at Mammoth Cave, and then they'd shut all the lights off. And your eyes were already adjusted to dark, because it's fairly dark. They have lights on, but it's fairly dark. But they turn turn all the lights off, and you could not see at all. Like even your hand right in front of your face, you could see nothing. I just remember thinking it was so cool. I was like, oh my god, so cool. And it's just stuck with me forever. Elvis wore blue suede shoes to his senior prom. Well, there you go. Probably because the song, that song Elvis sang, but it was really, what's his name? Well, was that Jerry Lee Lewis? Anyway, so maybe that song had already been around. I don't know. Maybe not. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm wrong. All right. Stephen Stills, Glenn Campbell, and Charles Manson all failed their auditions for the Monkees. That's funny. Glenn Campbell failed the audition for the Monkees. He's pretty talented. Chopin only performed 30 concerts in his entire life. I don't know much about him, honestly. Irving Berlin couldn't read or write music and could only play the piano in F sharp. Couldn't read or write music, could only play the piano in F sharp. Okay. When Beethoven conducted the premiere of his Ninth Symphony in Vienna, he was completely deaf. After it ended, one of the soloists had to turn him around so he could see the audience applauding. Wow, that's pretty cool. Am I crazy? Are there 2 pages? Nope. Public applause is banned in Belarus. Why? Why? In the 16th century, French actors hired railleurs, laughers, and I'm not good at French, you guys. Sorry about this. Chatouillers, or ticklers, to sit in the audience and cheer everyone up. Oh my goodness. If there was a tickler tickling me, I would punch him in the face. The sound of arguments can affect the brains of sleeping babies. Oh, that's kind of sad. Gilbert and Sullivan split up after an argument about the cost of carpet at the Savoy Theatre. Wait, I don't want to say this because my brain's... But there's this movie out right now with Ethan Hawke. I think it's just starting streaming on Netflix, and it's called Blue Moon. Gilbert and Sullivan. I can't remember, but it was like the guy he's playing, Ethan Hawke, which I can't remember because I haven't seen it yet. He was like a duo with this guy, and then the guy he was a duo with, he went and became a duo with the other guy. Now I can't remember if it's Gilbert and Sullivan and one of them went on, or Gilbert and Sullivan. And maybe I had this all wrong. I don't know. But so it's the night that the other duo is having their first show or something, and the guy's like at a bar just kind of going, bore me. And I really want to watch it. It's I know that sounds kind of boring, but I think it might be really good. I do like Ethan Hawke when he acts. I think he's good. There's a carpet shop in Dublin called Lino Ricci. Like Lionel Richie's. Lino. Oh, Lino. I said it wrong. Not Lino. Lino. So it's like Lino Richie. So like linoleum. I don't know. Cardiff has a tiling supplies outlet called Bonnie Tyler. That was a singer in the 80s, if you don't know. Bristol has a mobile kebab truck called Jason Donovan. Kebab truck called... I don't know. I don't know who Jason Donovan. I don't know who that is. I feel like I probably should. I'm reading it wrong. I don't know. Portsmouth has a locksmith called Sherlock Holmes. That's funny. Sherlock Holmes. In the Sherlock Holmes stories, the first names of Moriarty, I don't know, and his brother are only mentioned once. Both are called James. Okay, so one of the main characters and his brother, their names only once, and they accidentally named them both James, I guess, in the book. James the First of Scotland was murdered in a sewer. Ew. James the Second of Scotland had a huge bright red birthmark, which led to the nickname Fiery Face. Fiery Face sounds like a Pokemon. James the Second of England was known in Ireland as James the Beshitten. It really is what it says. That's silly. Science and shit both come from the ancient word skeid, meaning to separate or divide. Science students who wear lab coats perform better in tests. Okay, it's like dress for the job you want kind of thing. Ernest Rutherford, who said all science is either physics or stamp collecting, won the Nobel Prize for chemistry. Okay. The chemical company Bayer lost the trademark for aspirin as part of Germany's reparations for the First World War. Yeah, okay. They may have lost the trademark, but I can't think of other companies that make aspirin, really. Suicide causes more deaths than murder and war combined. Suicide was a criminal offense in the UK until 1961. I mean, I'm not sure how I guess if it fails, you can. Bacteria that catch viruses may commit suicide to protect their neighbors from infection. Interesting. Wow. The man who wrote, "I do like to be beside the seaside," killed himself after being booed off stage in Glasgow. It's terrible. All the property in Glasgow, is worth less than the houses in Elmbridge, Surrey. That means nothing to me. There are more people buried in Brookwood Cemetery in Surrey than there are living in Southampton, Swindon, or Oldham. That's very British. I don't know anything about that. Surrey libraries account for 1/5 of all UK borrowing of E.L. James' 50 Shades of Grey. What is he saying about Surrey? The Kama Sutra provides advice on tongue twisters and cockfighting. He put all that stuff, the 50 Shades of Grey and the Kama Sutra, on page 169. In the Middle Ages, erect penises were thought to be full of pressurized air. That's funny. The pistol shrimp uses jets of water to generate a sonic boom as loud as concords. Wow. I've heard that before. They go like for their size. Skunk comes from the Algonquin word sekunku, meaning he who squirts. A startled hagfish can unleash more than 5 gallons of defensive slime. Uliginous means having a slimy nature. Slugs dislike copper. Their slime reacts with it and gives them an electric shock. A slug's anus is on its head. Butthead. A shirime is a Japanese monster with an eye in place of an anus. Okay. Buddy Holly was so short-sighted he couldn't read the top line of the eye chart. Well, I did a video about Buddy Holly's plane crash, if you're curious. The Day the Music Died, it's called. Dante Gabriel Rossetti always wore 2 pairs of spectacles. I also did a video on Rossetti and the Pre-Raphaelites, if you're curious. I've done a lot of videos, you guys. Yeah, I didn't know that. Schubert, I don't know, slept with his glasses on in case he got an idea during the night. Yeah, you want to like write it down. You got to look for your readers. When he gets writer's block, Dan Brown hangs upside down to get his creative juices flowing. A pipistrelle bat weighs less than a 2-pence coin. Tiny. A lot of these animals, like the owls, like I have a eastern screech owl in my backyard. He is only like that big, but it's all feather. Like I bet he is that light too. They're like super lightweight, so they can go through the air real quietly. The copper in a pre-1992 2p coin is now worth more than 3p, which I think is pence. 2 pence coin, 2 pence. In 2011, a Georgian woman digging for copper to sell as scrap sliced through a cable and cut off the whole of Armenia from the internet. Oh my gosh. Whoops. Whoopsie daisy. In 1999, the king of Bhutan allowed his country internet access to celebrate his silver jubilee. Whoa. What do you guys think? This is kind of fun, isn't it? That's a fun little book. I'm hoping when I finish this, I find another one. So, Thailand has a special language used exclusively for talking to the king. Oh, that's interesting. Like a royal language. Karl the 16th of Sweden is only the 10th Swedish king named Karl. Karl the 1st to the 4th were mythical. Princess Lilian of Sweden was born in Swansea, the daughter of a market trader. Aren't these the ones who are getting... Isn't it Sweden's royalty are getting in trouble for Epstein stuff or something? I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. And one of the sons accused of something, or is that not Sweden? Maybe that's somewhere else. I don't remember. Anyway, Prince Philip is 483rd in line to the British throne. Huh. Well, he's dead, right? Prince Philip, he was the old guy, wasn't he? This book's old. When is this book from? Let's see. I kind of liked Prince Philip, I think. I watched The Crown, and he kind of liked it. 2013. Yeah, this book's old. Queen Elizabeth II is descended from the Prophet Muhammad. The Queen is a Knight of the Elephant, Denmark, a Knight of the Golden Fleece, Spain, and a Knight of the White Eagle, Poland. According to the 2011 census, 1 in 3 Londoners was born abroad. Where were they? 1 in 3. Only 20% of the Royal Mint's coins are made for the UK. What? The first image on American television was the dollar sign. I've never heard that. The first image on American television was the dollar sign? Really? I had no idea. China has a greater reserve of US dollars than the USA itself. Yeah, maybe more so now, right? We are so in debt. The ancient Chinese believed that the thicker your earlobe, the wealthier you would be. I'm in trouble. I don't think I have very thick earlobes. The most expensive coffee in the world is made from the dung of Thai elephants. I think now it's that one that like a kitty cat eats the bean and poops it out, and then you grind it or something. Isn't that right? The Anglo-Saxons called the little finger the ear finger because it's the one you use to pick wax out of your ear. Okay. The Romans called the middle finger digitus impedicus, impedicus, the obscene or offensive finger. Oh, whoops, I better not. Galileo's middle finger is on display at a museum in Florence. I did a video on Galileo, if you're curious. I think it's called Galileo. No frills ASMR. Russian, Spanish, and Persian use the same words for fingers as for toes. Russian, Spanish, and Persian. Okay. The fleshy bulb at the base of your thumb. Oh, right here? It's not fleshy, but... Oh, here. I bet that's... At the base of your thumb is called thenar? Have you ever heard where they say, like, if you're cooking a steak, I forget what they say, like, that's rare, if it feels like that. That's medium. What was it? And that's, like, well, or something, I forget. Elephants suck their trunks as children suck their thumbs. Oh, that's kind of cute. I don't think I've ever seen an elephant suck their trunk. Rubik's cubers can suffer from cubist thumb or Rubik's wrist. When my sister and I were on the cruise ship and we were working very diligently to try to win a future cruise credit. And my sister was at this one machine and there was no like you had to push the button, but the way it pushed, you had to really kind of crank it down. And after a while, she's like, my wrist hurts. I'm like, this is slot machine wrist. You gotta suffer it for the greater good. Anyway, it was kind of funny. We were laughing because I had to start clicking it for her because it was too much work. The tiny arms of Tyrannosaurus rex could each lift the equivalent of 2 adult humans. Wow, that's interesting. After losing his right arm in battle, Horatio Nelson developed a phantom limb in its place. He considered it direct proof for the existence of the soul. Interesting. I've heard that when you get a limb cut off, a lot of times you still feel it. You'll even feel pain, like in your foot or whatever. You know, it's interesting. When 3 people were rushed to the hospital in the 1990s with twisted intestines, the Chinese state media issued warnings about hula hooping. Sorry, about hula hooping. What? Is that actually what caused it? 3 people rushed to the hospital in 19 for twisted intestines, and they think it was hula hooping. I gotta look this up. In the Dutch version of Cluedo, Professor Plum is called Professor Pimple. So Cluedo is what I think all over Europe they call the game that in the US is called Clue. And we have, because I don't know what you guys have, we have Professor Plum, Colonel Mustard, Miss Peacock, Mrs. White, oh, Mr. Green, Professor Plum, Colonel Mustard. Is it Mr. Green? Is that all of them, you guys? Am I forgetting anybody? Miss White. Oh, Miss Scarlet? Did I say that? I think that's all of them. In the Polish version of Scrabble, the letter Z is only worth 1 point. Oh, because they use Z a lot more. Yeah, I think in ours it's 10 points for Z. Znuz. Znuz is an old word for frost. Znuz. Snow broth is snow which has been trodden down into a mush. I like that. Snow broth. We call it slush. New York gets 15 times as much snow as the South Pole. Okay. The snow on Venus is made from heavy metals. Eey. Until 323 BC, Venus's appearance in the morning and evening were thought to be different planets. Well, okay, kind of understandable. Venus is the most common natural object to be mistaken for a UFO. Yes, sometimes it can be very bright, very bright. The most popular item in the FBI's online reading room is an unconfirmed report of a UFO over New Mexico. Whoa. I have a collection of UFO information that I bought at an estate sale. And I think it was somebody's in the 1960s, and they collected all this stuff about UFOs. I actually looked through it once on the channel, but I might pull it out again because I forgot. It's been so long. We could look through it again. Abraham Lincoln created the Secret Service on the day he was shot. What? That's crazy. Richard Nixon applied unsuccessfully to join the FBI. We just did a video on Richard Nixon and Watergate. The U.S. Republican Party hasn't won a presidential election without a Bush or a Nixon on the ticket since 1928. What? Now this, of course, goes back to 2013, but was there more than one Nixon? What? He must have been, I mean, that wasn't his main name. I'm so confused. This requires research. Hold on. I'll be right back. Hold on. Don't go anywhere. Do not go anywhere. 1928. Here's 1923. Calvin Coolidge, Herbert Hoover. They're both Republican. So they're somehow related to Nixon? Is that what they're saying? And then these two are Democrats. Eisenhower, Nixon, Ford. Oh, because, okay, Nixon was on the ticket with Ford because he took over. So, okay. Was one of the Bushes on? Wait, what? Ronald Reagan. Bush was on Reagan's ticket. He was his vice president. And then Bush, and then Bush. Okay. So those make sense. There's Nixon. Eisenhower. Hoover. Oh, somebody explain to me a Bush or a Nixon and how they relate to Coolidge, Hoover, Eisenhower. What? The U.S. Republican Party hasn't won a presidential election without a Bush or a Nixon on the ticket since 1928. 1928. All right, so really it's just Hoover. It's not Coolidge. It's just Hoover and Eisenhower. Interesting. The Democrats and Republicans ran over 1 million TV ads in 2012. It would take more than a year to watch them all. Yeah, it's kind of a crime how much money we spend on campaign ads and stuff, and all the super PACs, and whoever has the most money and the most ads wins. It's all kind of gross, really. When George Washington campaigned for election in Virginia in 1758, he bought every eligible voter 3 pints of alcohol. That's a bribe. Wow. Ebriety is the opposite of sobriety. Ebriety. Okay, I remember that. In the late Middle Ages, you could pay taxes with beer. In 60, that was my hand. People like to say I make my hand going like that. Of course, I can't do it again. In 1695, the American colonies levied a tax on bachelors to encourage men to marry. Well, is that really that much different from how married couples pay less? You know, their bracket's different. It's kind of like that. In 1831, only 3% of the population of Britain was eligible to vote. Interesting. All right. That's good for today. I have to go watch a movie today. so that I can get my best picture video done before I leave. I gotta go to, not got to, but I'm going to Tennessee to see my parents soon. So I'd like to get that all done before then. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. We still have this much left. And then I gotta find another book like this, because this is probably my favorite trivia book, I think. Shiny, shiny there. It has 1,339 facts to make your jaw drop. Following the sensational success of 1,227 QI facts to blow your socks off, the QI team returns with a fresh stack of facts to astonish and enlighten. Pigs suffer from anorexia. Wagner always wore pink silk underwear. Rugby school's first official rugby kit included a bow tie. Lord Kitchener had 4 spaniels called Shot, Bang, Miss, and Damn. It is impossible to whistle in a spacesuit. J.K. Rowling has no middle name. The Statue of Liberty wears size 879 shoes. The first computer mouse